Hello again, wizards. It is the Wandering Wizard, and we are back at it again with another video. The month of February was pretty exciting with the introduction of a hot time event for oddities. I believe it was the fifth page. We got to see Fluffy and a dark wizard and the escape from Azkaban wizard. Which we were able to confront over and over again around the world. I feel like these filler events in between major events like Community Day or Brilliant event is absolutely amazing. It keeps me busy, keeps me interested in the game, and keeps us moving forward in the collection quest that we all need. During this event, I was able to also run into some confoundables that I haven't seen at all. I know I ran into Ron and Ron's brother a couple times, and the pensive, and it was pretty freaking awesome to see that they were adding even more events into the lineup for February. February was definitely a very, very busy month. This event left me more busier running around finding unique confoundables as well as page 5 confoundables, which was Fluffy, technically a 3-headed dog. Also in the event, I was also able to get my werewolves in. So if you guys don't know, right at the beginning of the event, or the beginning of the month really, we also ran into a full moon during the hot time event. All in all, I really enjoyed running into the dark wizard on the street. I believe it was the first time that I felt like we've actually gotten to play gameplay that was teased in the trailer before Wizards Unite came out. So I'm walking home, I'm able to pull up my phone, activate the AR Plus, and actually battle a dark wizard 1-to-1 scale on my way home, and that was pretty awesome to see. And it was very, very welcoming to have something to do while we waited for the other major events that were gonna come later on down the line in February, like the Valentine's Day event, and as well as the Community Day. During this time, we also see the game update drop for 2.10, which brought in a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot, a little bit of really needed features for the fortresses. We see a whole UI change. We see the start button being brought back so that if you are the only one joining the fortress, you no longer have to wait for the countdown. You can just hit the start button and get to enjoying the fortress. The UI changes to each fortress now shows, it now shows what you actually get, what the rewards are, and what the XP gain is. They also increased the XP gain for dungeons for your book collection, so that it's a lot easier to get the red books that everyone desperately, or red or brown, the brown books that we all definitely need. I know that I'm sitting at over 1,000 and some change in pages and like 5 books, because whenever I get them, I use them almost immediately. So the changes that they're making right now are definitely quality of life changes that they're focusing on. My only complaint so far really is that we still don't have a consistent profile page, and what I mean by that is we're still not able to put in our badges or our little titles and actually have persistence on that page, and that's a real bummer. Another thing, I hope down the line that we get more sociability in the game, and what I mean by that is I would like to see the ability to share our social cards, or more functionality with the social cards, or with our avatar on the map to not only just be whatever default color your house happens to be, but also the ability to buy robes, different colored robes, and kind of deck out your character, much like you do in Pokemon Go. But we're definitely moving in the right direction, and I'm loving what they're doing so far. The game as a whole right now is definitely enjoyable to play, and it makes a lot of sense overall. The Lost Love event. So this one took me by surprise. It was really tragic how they highlighted two individuals from the Harry Potter universe. One was Mrs. McGonagall. If you haven't watched my last video, I kind of briefly explained her backstory and why it was so tragic. With this event, though, I was a little bummed out that we didn't get to see Grimm. It only focused on her, what we believe is her true love, which was Dougal. I'm not understanding why that is, considering that she made a conscious decision that she would not have a good life if she stayed with Dougal. So she ended up not proposing back to or marrying Dougal. Dougal ended up dying in the first Wizarding War, which she definitely carried a lot of regret for that. She felt like that if she had stayed and married him, he would probably be alive today. So Miss McGonagall has a lot of baggage that she's carrying. By the time we get to see her in Hogwarts, she's already like this hardened, love lost person, and it's really really tragic. It's kind of interesting to see the different items that we were collecting during this event. I really wanted to know what the story is about that harp, because I am not sure I ever saw anything about her and a magical harp in the books, as well as the raven. I would like to know exactly what those two items are, and if we're ever to get any backstory. I'm going to be really looking around for this, because this is like everything else made sense except for those couple items that just was like what. But all in all, I was a little bummed out that there was no mention of her actual husband, the person that she actually ended up marrying, who ended up dying when by a plant, I believe. A deadly plant ended up taking him out, which I believe she moved to Hogsmeade for a little bit with him, and then after he ended up dying, she ended up moving back into Hogwarts, and bonding a little bit more with Dumbledore because of that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little torn by this event. I feel like there's so much backstory with McGonagall, so much that you can dive into with her character. and her backstory. I really wish that more was fleshed out during this event, because her love tragedy is like, if you didn't read the books, if you didn't go to Pottermore, you would probably not understand why it is so tragic. here we are with the collection so far. I love that we are continuing to collect the Brilliant event, and having a reason to complete these events is that you get this lovely filled out picture, and it's pretty much a still from times in Hogwarts that we're reliving. We're reliving memories in Hogwarts and Harry Potter. And it's pretty awesome that we get to do that. I hope in the future we get some type of physical representation of each individual object that we can then trade around, or some other way of showing off of our collection to our fellow wizards. This is kind of harkening into sociability that I feel is just something missing. So the event after the Lost Love event was more filler event, which I'm not complaining at all. It's amazing. I love it. We were able to again fight Dark Aurors and the escaped prisoner of Azkaban, and I ran into a couple of fluffies along the way as well, filling out that page even further. I had a lot of fun going through this little mini event, and also trying to figure out how it ties into the overarching story. The overarching story for me is just a little bit confusing. It's probably because I'm a recluse and I'm pretty much a loner for the most part, and I have a hard time reaching out and I don't know, making friends. I'm a weird guy in that aspect, so I feel like I'm gonna have to definitely reach out to my fellow wizards and try to figure out what's the story, because I'm more interested in what they act. Why is this happening? What is the Calamity? I feel like we don't still know a year out what exactly the Calamity is doing. And this is just me staying to myself, not really knowing what the overall community is thinking. But definitely comment down below if you have an idea of what the Calamity is and what it could be doing right now. Alright, so February Community Day 2020 was pretty awesome. I just want to apologize for anyone who made plans for the Community Day and I did not pop through like I planned on it. I ended up instead opting to stay home with the family, or I should say do chores with the family, while participating in the Community Day events. So my family, we decided to go out to do laundry that day, which ended up being the most fun I ever had doing laundry ever. So we got everything together, and while we were getting everything together, the Community Day started while I was still at the house. So I gathered my clothes, my dog, Loki, the family, and we all jumped in a car and headed over to where the laundromat was. I don't know if you guys know this, but New York and Jersey, any of the major cities, I believe, it's rare to find your washer and dryer in the same place you live. You have to go out to a social area to do your laundry. Oh man, the pleasures of owning a house. But yeah, so while I was at home, the event started and I was able to get a good portion of the event done. It was catching leprechauns, catching different confoundables, and it was for the most part pretty easy to complete, and I appreciated that. It was more of a casual events that needed to be done. You had plenty of time to do it. It wasn't a big rush. And then on top of that, where we were at, it just so happened to have like 3 fortresses in a very close proximity to where the laundromat was. So we were able to everyone, with my kids and my wife and I, were easily able to complete the event without stressing out too much. So that day we ended up bringing Loki. It ended up being a cold day, kind of cold. So we ended up grabbing Loki's jacket. This dog has a better jacket than I do. I'm kind of envious. We threw him into the back trunk, and we headed over. Like I said, it was pretty easy. The event, I appreciated the event was easy and not too hard to complete. I haven't. I mean, I don't know if I like the Fortress exclusive events on Community Day, or if I like the Confoundables plus Fortress edition. I feel like if we could get more like the Basilisk event on Community Days, where you had to jump in and find a special dungeon that opens up with, that Basilisk event was just pretty much amazing, and I'll be comparing everything pretty much to it. I feel like, we need to have more of that one-off where you can only obtain a certain item on Community Day. To keep, I guess, in my opinion, it makes it a little bit more special. Brilliant event. You get these brilliant portraits as well, and you also get introduced to new confoundables that slowly make their way into actual catchable confoundables after that event goes live. I do also would love to see something a little bit more special on Community Day as far as what to catch. Now, on a serious note, I want to talk for a second about the coronavirus. As of recording this, we are now into March, about to start the next Calamity. I believe it starts tomorrow. So this will give you a kind of an idea of where you are in time as of recording this over this voiceover. I don't think that I'm going to be participating in any of the upcoming Community Day get-togethers until this calamity. I wanted to say calamity. This feels like a calamity. This coronavirus issue is figured out, as in we have a cure, and it is not possible for me to take this disease if I contract it and pass it on to other people. Really think about your safety. I know that there's a response with New Yorkers right now with how they feel about the coronavirus. Some people are taking it super serious. I'm talking about wearing face masks, carrying disinfectant everywhere they go. Others are a little bit more liberal about how they're doing it. Where I stand is, I feel like I have a social obligation not to contract and then carry this disease and spread this disease that could potentially take the life of people that are susceptible to this disease. So with that said, I will not be attending any Community Day events until it is announced that it is okay to have large or semi-large gatherings for events. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you guys could understand where I'm coming from. And if you have any questions about this, about me, please feel free to comment down below in the comments or hit me up on my social media accounts. As far as if you see me walking around New York City, by all means, please stop me and say hi. I'm not going to be ignoring anyone or running away from anyone. I just do not want to create a situation where we could possibly spread this disease, since it is in incubation for almost a month before anyone knows that they even have it. So yeah, stay safe out there, witches and wizards, and I'm pretty sure that this will blow over and we can get back to enjoying these awesome events and conventions. All right, moving forward. So after the Community Day was done, we moved into the second part of the Calamity event, or the Lost Love event, and we focused on Snape. I'm not going to really be posting photos or videos from this because it was pretty much the same thing repeated from the first part. But we did focus on his love. I'm pretty sure everyone knows the story about Snape and how he was in love with Harry Potter's mother, and how that all went awry when he was never able to win her heart, but he always loved her over everything else, and that in turn made him love Harry Potter, and it was pretty much a tragic story where, like, man, this Snape's story in the books was just tore me to pieces because, like, J.K. did a very good job at making him look as though he was the villain, the guy. He was the one bringing everyone into Hogwarts, and he was the reason why Death Eaters were in Hogwarts, and he just looked so bad. But to in turn find out that that's just not the case, and he loved him the entire time, was protecting him the entire time, it just tore me to bits. I can't begin to tell you. So we got a portrait of him with Harry Potter's mother, and we got potions because he's as we know, he's really good with potions. So everything he loved dear popped up. It was pretty awesome to see. And one of the things that stuck out to me about the second part of the event as well is that they kept the Alan Rickman likeness to Snape's character, which I really, really appreciated now that he can be immortalized in the Wizards Unite video game. I'm a huge Alan Rickman fan, and I feel like he was taken too soon. I would have loved to seen a continuation to the story. But it is what it is, and we're here now. So I'm super appreciative of everything that WB has done so far with the game. I feel like it's amazing, and they did a really good job at bringing together all these different features and continuing to improve the game. That's the one thing that I feel like I'm more impressed with is the continuation of improving this game and making it better. Every time I turn around, there's a different upgrade or update to the game. I also want to give a quick shout out to Chiroko, who made amazing fan art for Harry Potter, and I thought it was just it was adorable. So I was just gonna give a quick shout out. If you guys want, go over there and throw that person a follow. They are huge Harry Potter and Wizards Unite fans, and it's just amazing. I ran across it by accident and thought it was like pretty cool. So yeah. Thank you for being awesome, Chiroko. I'm not sure how well you are with the English language. I know you responded to me on Twitter, which was awesome. I would love to see a lot more of your Harry Potter related drawings. Maybe a Niffler. More Niffler, please. Niffler is like my favorite. But yeah, there was this pretty amazing and talented person. Go follow when you get a chance. So that will be it for me, guys. You guys have yourself a good day. There's so much going on right now. I apologize for these weird upload times and the gaps between uploads, but I pretty much upgraded my gear substantially. For vlogging, I now have the A6400 along with the Sigma 16mm lens, which I've just been exploring photography from scratch. I know nothing. So that's been in turn amazing and fun. But I'm just getting familiar with the camera. Now I'm familiar with the camera, I'm gonna start doing vlogs and setting up cool shots, and then the weather now is getting good enough for me to go out and actually take these shots. The next video you see from me should be at the up and coming Harry Potter store, flagship store that's going to be hitting Manhattan, that I'm super excited about. As far as I know, it's going to be the second official Harry Potter merchandise store in the world, and it's probably, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be the largest. So I know there's one in London, and this is, I'm so super freaking excited for for the store to open. It's supposed to be opening summer 2020. We're gonna go check out the building before it opens. I was planning on seeing if I can get a little sneak peek inside the building, but I don't know. I'm gonna try, guys. But yeah, I'm excited for what's going on in the future, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about everything in 4K. You guys have a good night. Thank you guys for everything. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the down button if you didn't like it. Comment below with everything you know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.